I had a patient not long ago, a gentleman in his early 70s named Robert. He was doing almost everything right. He ate grilled chicken and fish, plenty of vegetables. He walked every day. But his blood pressure and his cholesterol numbers were simply not getting better. It was a mystery. We went over his diet again and again. Finally, I stopped and asked him, "Robert, tell me exactly what you drink from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed." His answer solved the entire mystery, and frankly, it saved his life.
That's a powerful story, and it's a perfect reason why we need this conversation today. Welcome, everyone, to Health Voices. I'm your host, Sarah, and we are so privileged to have our trusted expert, cardiologist Dr. David Miller, here with us. Dr. Robert's story is frightening because it shows that even when we are trying our best with food, something else can be undoing all our good work.
That is the exact danger, Sarah. What we drink is often the missing piece of the puzzle, and for many, it's the most damaging piece. This is a critical topic for senior heart health because the body's ability to handle sugar and chemicals changes as we age. A drink that you had with no problem in your 40s could be putting dangerous strain on your heart in your 70s.
So what makes these drinks so uniquely dangerous?
It is the speed of absorption and the hidden ingredients. Unlike solid food, your body takes in liquids almost instantly, causing a flash flood of sugar or stimulants that can damage the delicate lining of your arteries. Today, we are going to name the specific drinks that I see causing the most harm. I want to be very clear with our viewers. The number one drink we will discuss is something I would consider a heart attack in a bottle for anyone over 60. We need to have this serious talk because God has given us one body and one heart for our entire lifetime. Learning how to protect that precious gift is the most important work we can do.
That is such a serious warning, doctor. So let's begin. Let's talk about the first group of drinks, the ones people often turn to for a quick pick-me-up or a boost of energy. I'm thinking of energy drinks, all kinds of sodas, and those very sweet, fancy coffee drinks from coffee shops. They seem different, but are they all harming our hearts in a similar way?
They are, Sarah. They are all part of the same dangerous family. I call them the energy deceivers because the quick energy they promise comes at a very high price for your heart. They work by creating a stress reaction in your body. This group has three main problems: a massive sugar load, harsh chemical stimulants, and in many cases, an unhealthy amount of caffeine. Let's start with energy drinks. These are at the top of my list of things seniors should never touch. They are a chemical cocktail in a can. They can have huge amounts of caffeine and other stimulants that can make your heart beat too fast or irregularly. This can be very dangerous if you already have high blood pressure or any underlying heart condition. Then you have sodas. A regular soda is purely liquid sugar. As we discussed, that sugar floods your system, leading to weight gain, inflammation, and high blood pressure. And please do not be fooled by diet sodas. The artificial sweeteners have been linked in major studies to their own set of problems, including a higher risk of stroke and heart disease. They are not a safe alternative. Finally, those sweet coffee drinks. A plain cup of black coffee can be fine, even healthy, but when you add pumps of syrup, whipped cream, and caramel drizzle, you have turned it into a liquid dessert with as much sugar and fat as a large piece of cake.
It's easy to see how a daily habit of any of those could cause a problem over time. Do you see this often with your patients?
All the time. I think of a patient named George, 68 years old. He came to me complaining of heart flutters and a feeling of anxiety, especially in the afternoons. He was convinced it was just stress from his part-time job. We did a full workup, and his heart was structurally sound, but he was having frequent palpitations. I asked him, like I asked Robert, to walk me through his entire day. It turns out he had a diet soda with his lunch every day, and then a small energy drink around 3 p.m. to get him through the afternoon slump. He thought because they were both zero sugar, they were harmless.
And that was the cause of the palpitations?
It was the direct trigger. I asked him to make one change, For 2 weeks, instead of the soda and energy drink, I wanted him to drink a large glass of cold water and take a 5-minute walk outside when he felt tired. He came back to his follow-up appointment, and he was a different man. The palpitations were gone. Completely. He said he actually felt he had more stable energy throughout the day. Maintaining steady energy is vital for good senior heart health, but these drinks create a cycle of artificial highs and deep lows that the heart was never designed to handle.
That is remarkable. Just by taking away those 2 drinks.
It truly is. It's a testament to the body's incredible ability to heal. It's remarkable how, when we remove these artificial things and return to the simple, natural things God provided, like water and gentle movement, the body has a wonderful ability to find its balance again. My advice is simple. If you need energy, reach for water first. Dehydration is a major cause of fatigue. If you need more, have a plain cup of tea or black coffee. But please walk past the aisle with the sodas and energy drinks. Your heart will thank you for it.
That story about George is a clear warning about those energy-type drinks. I think most people watching can understand that soda and energy drinks are not good for them. But doctor, this next category is much more confusing. I'm talking about drinks that many people believe are actively good for them. Things like fruit juice, which comes from fruit, or flavored milk drinks that we think provide calcium.
This is where the danger becomes hidden, Sarah. This is where good intentions can lead to bad outcomes. Let's start with fruit juice. The bottle may say 100% juice and have pictures of fresh oranges or apples on it. But here's the simple truth. When you take a whole fruit and squeeze out all the juice, you have stripped away its most important protective element, the fiber. Without the fiber to slow it down, the sugar in that juice hits your liver all at once. The liver gets overwhelmed, and its main job in that situation is to turn that flood of sugar into fat, specifically a type of fat called triglycerides. High triglycerides are a major risk factor for heart disease.
So even though the sugar comes from fruit, our body treats it like pure sugar?
Exactly right. It's interesting, Sarah. God gave us the orange in a perfect package with the sugar naturally bound up in its fiber. We, in our search for convenience, have processed it into something our bodies struggle to handle. Sometimes the original form he gave us is the best and healthiest form. The same exact logic applies to flavored milk drinks, like chocolate or strawberry milk, and to sweet tea.
That's a surprise to hear. Many of us grew up drinking chocolate milk.
Many of us did. But the amount of sugar added to these drinks today is shocking. A single glass of sweet tea can have more sugar than a can of soda. A bottle of chocolate milk can have as much sugar as a full-size candy bar. The health benefits you might get from the milk's calcium or the tea's antioxidants are completely canceled out by this massive sugar load. You are, in effect, drinking a dessert. A daily habit of this will absolutely contribute to weight gain, high blood fats, and inflammation, which is terrible for your arteries.
This is such an important message for our Health Voices community to hear, because the marketing on these products is so convincing. The boxes make them look so wholesome.
The marketing is very clever, which is why we must be smarter. My advice is very simple and direct. Eat the fruit, don't drink the juice. If you enjoy milk, drink plain milk. If you want a little flavor, add a single drop of pure vanilla extract, not a spoonful of sugary syrup. And if you love tea, brew it yourself. Let it cool over ice. If you absolutely need a touch of sweetness, a very small amount of honey is better. But the goal should be to learn to appreciate the real, unsweetened taste of the tea itself. Making these changes is a simple, yet profound act of self-care for your heart.
Doctor, this is all so clear. But now we have to talk about a topic where there is a lot of confusion. Alcohol. For years, many of us have heard that a daily glass of red wine can be good for heart health. What is the real, honest truth for seniors today?
Sarah, I am so glad you asked this directly. The truth is that for anyone over 65, The advice has changed because the risks now far outweigh any potential benefits. While some older, smaller studies showed a slight benefit from very moderate drinking, newer and larger studies show that daily alcohol consumption is a direct cause of serious heart problems. For seniors, I see two major dangers with daily drinking. First, alcohol is a known trigger for irregular heartbeats, a very serious condition called atrial fibrillation, or AFib. It can directly irritate the heart's electrical pathways, causing it to beat chaotically. This isn't just an uncomfortable feeling of fluttering or a flopping fish in your chest. It dramatically increases the risk of blood clots forming inside the heart. If one of those clots travels to the brain, it causes a major, often devastating stroke. Second, even a single drink per day has been shown to raise blood pressure over time. And critically, it can interfere with common heart medications. If you are on a blood thinner like warfarin or Liquis, alcohol can dangerously increase the medication's effect, leading to a risk of serious bleeding. If you're on beta blockers or other drugs for blood pressure, it can cause dizziness and increase the risk of dangerous falls.
This is so different from what many people believe. Can you share an example of this?
I can. I had a patient, a wonderful woman named Margaret in her mid-70s. Her husband had passed away, and she told me she had one glass of white wine every single night. She said it helped her relax and feel less lonely. She truly believed it was her healthy little ritual. One night, she woke up feeling that flopping fish sensation in her chest. Her heart was racing and fluttering. She was short of breath and felt dizzy. She was scared. Her daughter rushed her to the hospital, and she was diagnosed with AFib.
And this was caused by her one glass of wine?
It was the clear trigger. In the hospital, away from the wine, her heart rhythm returned to normal. When we talked, she cried. She said, "I thought I was taking care of myself. I thought it was good for me." I explained to her that while she thought the wine was relaxing her mind, it was actually agitating her heart's delicate wiring. She was heartbroken to give up her ritual, but she was more determined to stay healthy and independent for her grandchildren. Preventing conditions like atrial fibrillation and controlling blood pressure are the absolute cornerstones of good senior heart health. For that reason, my advice is to avoid alcohol as much as possible. A drink on a special occasion once or twice a year is one thing, but a daily habit is a risk I do not recommend taking.
That is a truly sobering story about Margaret. Doctor, we have covered so many drinks that are surprisingly harmful. At the very beginning of our conversation, you said there was one that you consider the absolute worst, the heart attack in a bottle. What is it?
It is. And the reason it's number one is because it's a perfect storm of the worst ingredients all in one bottle. The single most dangerous daily drink for a senior today is the packaged, ready-to-drink iced coffee.
Wow, the kind you grab from the cooler at the grocery store or gas station. Why is that one so bad?
Because it attacks your heart from 3 different directions at the same time. First, it's a massive sugar attack. A single bottle of these drinks can have more sugar than 2 donuts. We've already discussed what that does to your liver and your blood fats. Second, it's a fat attack. To make them creamy and smooth, they are loaded with unhealthy fats, oils, and chemical emulsifiers that can raise your bad cholesterol. Go look at the ingredient list. You'll see things you can't pronounce. Carrageenan, artificial flavors, potassium sorbate. These are not food. These are chemicals designed to keep that product stable on a shelf for months. That should be a huge red flag. And third, it's a caffeine attack. The caffeine content is often very high, which adds that extra strain on your heart rate and blood pressure. It is literally like drinking a soda, a fatty dessert, and a strong cup of coffee all at the same time. It's a triple threat in a bottle, and it should be avoided completely.
Thank you, Doctor. This has been an eye-opening and honestly, a life-changing conversation. We've learned about the energy deceivers, the healthy imposters, the real risks of alcohol, and now this number one offender. The main lesson is that we have to be just as conscious about what we drink as what we eat.
That is the message. But please, I do not want anyone watching to feel overwhelmed or discouraged. This is not about being perfect tomorrow. This is about making one small, better choice. Don't try to change everything at once. Just pick one of these drinks you might be having regularly, and for this week, replace it with a glass of water or a simple cup of herbal tea. That single small victory is a powerful step forward on the path to better health. When you make that choice, you are respecting yourself and the body you've been given. You'll find you have more natural energy, you sleep better, and your mind feels clearer. It's a journey worth taking.
A powerful first step. Dr. Miller, thank you again for your wisdom and your clarity today.
It is my privilege. Take good care of the wonderful body you have been blessed with. Be well, and God bless.
And thank you, our viewers, for joining us here on Health Voices. If you found this conversation valuable, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it with a friend or family member who needs to hear it. And we would love to hear from you in the comments. What is one small change you are inspired to make this week? Your journey inspires all of us. Thank you for watching.